wasn't holding you.
Suffered from over the last year or so, especially when Larry Fink says ESG has been weaponized. And I'm sure that's an area of concern for you, because we were just about gathering momentum on the issue of inclusive capitalism, and suddenly financiers and banks and investors all over the world thought that it was going too far. How do you see that backlash play out?
So I believe that ESG as a term should be put into the dustbin.
Okay.
I don't think we should try to defend ESG as a term, because it's been sullied by, it's been productized by too many people. There's too much greenwashing around it. There's too much virtue signaling. And people just think if they hang up an ESG shingle that they are a virtuous company. And I would throw that in the dustbin. And what I would do is I would go back to a narrative for the public about, let's look at what great companies in history did to become great. Whether it was, AT&T, or here in India, ITC, 2.5 decades ago. They looked at how are we treating our people? How are we treating the planet? And so I would say that what we should do is we should say that business at its best has always been in the business of providing the best products to their consumers, built and designed by people who loved the product, who loved the company, who were fairly compensated, who lived, and businesses that lived in communities where the business, was an integral part of that community. And doing all of those things creates more valuable companies. It's been shown over and over again. So I would lose ESG, but I would really bear down on what are companies doing to profitably solve the problems of people and planet. And I would do that as an investor, I would do that as an employee, I would do that as a board member, I would do that as a journalist. Companies that are profiting while at the same time ruining people's lives or ruining the planet, those are not long-term keepers. Those are the companies that should fall off, down by the wayside. We should elevate. We sometimes at the Council for Inclusive Capitalism call it a race to the top. We should invest in and work for companies that are taking care of people and planet. That's the way I would answer that.
But something will replace ESG, right? Because all of this needs to be measurable, describable, and tangible for investors to find a way to invest in. So if you dustbin ESG,
right,
for all the bad will that it has earned over the last couple of years, something else will take its place. Is there a concept or an idea that you think could improve or actually deliver what ESG was meant to but didn't?
I think it's vital that we deliver what ESG was meant to deliver. And ESG as a term was created almost by accident by the United Nations in a speech in 2005. And then it took on this huge life of its own and sullied itself in the process. So I think that ESG will be replaced by responsible business. Like, what kind of businesses do we want to invest in? What kind of businesses do we want to work for? And it'll take the heat off of this ridiculous political rhetoric that people are weaponizing businesses that do the right thing for all of its constituents. So I think it probably, so I'm happy to get rid of ESG and let that battle be fought by people who are anachronistic and not even relevant anymore.
Si te ha gustado el contenido del vídeo, dale un like, suscríbete y activa la campanita.